Hey guys, all right, these are going to be instructions on how you can create your own photo force diagram like the one that you saw in my example. I'm going to go fast, so remember you can pause at any time and rewind. So the first thing you need to do is to open up Photo Booth. Now I'm just going to go to my launch pad and I'm going to go to Photo Booth. So you guys see it's right there. I'm sure you all know how to get in Photo Booth. And hey, look, all right, now you guys can see me. So first thing you need to do is pick out a picture that you really want to take. It can be interesting. You can be holding something up. You can be pushing something. You saw that on mine. It's kind of boring. I'm just sitting on a table. I'm going to go photobomb Mr. Gall's room real quick. Look, he's yelling and talking, so.
Two rubber bands versus the big long screen versus whatever.
Hang on just a second. Hey, Mr. Gall, will you stand up for just a minute? I need you to stand right here. Okay. All right, so you're going to click the button, and then you got 3 seconds to get in position. Don't move, Mr. Gall. Okay. Thanks, Mr. Gall. All right, so now I've got my picture of me and Mr. Gall. So here's what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take that picture and watch what I do. I'm going to watch my mouse down here, guys, so not at my face. Look at my mouse. I'm going to grab that picture, and I'm going to slide it over here and drop it on my desktop. All right, so now I've got a picture on my desktop. Go ahead and close Photo Booth. So Photo Booth is closed now. All right, you've got your picture you're going to work with. Next thing you need to do is open up a new Pages document. I've got Pages down here. If not, go to your launch pad and find it. But Pages, I'm going to go to File, New, and then you just want a blank document. So double-click the blank document. Double-click. All right, now, cool. I don't want to full screen it yet because what I'm going to do, first off, I'm going to put my name, okay? So I'm going to put something like group members, and I'll say Mr. McSparron, Mr. Gall, and then I'm going to put class, and we'll put something like first house. There we go. All right, next thing you want to do is go ahead and put your picture in there. So I'm just going to, so see my mouse? I'm going to grab that picture, and I'm just going to drag it in and drop it. And now I've got a picture. That's pretty awesome. All right. I've got a picture that I can put my forces on. Okay, so now all we have to do, by the way, guys, if you want to crop it, so if you want to like, if I wanted to get some of the extra stuff out of there, what I would do is I would double click. And we see this little button here that's selected. Make sure that's blue. And I can just grab the edges and it'll cut that down a little bit. So I can grab the edges, and I can make it so it's just me and Mr. Gall, and then I click Done, and now my photo's a little smaller. Okay, so I need to put the arrows on. And we'll see there's going to be a handful of things here. Now, before you start with your arrows, you have to choose the receiver. So the receiver here, and you'll put this in your table in a minute, the receiver is going to be Mr. Gall, all right? So I'm going to make some arrows. I'm going to go up here to Shape. And look at that. They've got these nifty arrows that we can choose. Now, that arrow is large and ridiculous. So let's try and resize it. I think that I want my stem to be a little longer, so I'm going to drag that. And then I'm just going to take the whole thing and I'm going to make it a little bit smaller, about like that. Now, I like the color. You can change the color to green if you want. You can change it to yellow. Ooh, yellow, actually. Let's do yellow. That's kind of nice. Now, we see that the problem is, so let's talk about gravity first. So I know that gravity is pushing down on Mr. Gall. So for gravity, it needs to be pointing down, and this arrow's not pointing the right way. So here's what I do. Make sure that we're selected on Style over here, and we see we've got this little bitty wheel right here, okay? I'm going to grab the dot and watch as I change the wheel. Okay. Oh, dang it. Why didn't it do it? Interesting. Click back on it. Arrange. Ah, ha, 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 ha. Don't go to Style. I lied. Go to Arrange. Arrange is where the rotate is. Okay. I'm going to grab my dot and I'm going to rotate it. There we go. My bad, guys. Okay, so now I've got an arrow pointing down. All right, I'm I'm just going to copy and paste. If you click Command and then C, that'll copy. And then Command and then V will paste. If you don't want to do that, you could always two-finger click and you can do copy and then two-finger click again and do paste. That also works. But I like the key shortcut. So I know I'm going to have a handful of different forces. So I've got gravity pointing down. Now there's another force here. Force going that way. Not quite right. There we go. All right, that's going to be the applied force from me. There's also a force that's keeping him from moving. That's going to be the friction force going back that way. And then, of course, the force that's causing him to not fall through the floor is going to be my normal force. Okay, but I need to get all these and slide them down because I'm getting in the way of my thing here. So I'm just going to slide this down. I'll slide this down. There we go. And then I'll slide this down. Okay, so I've got all my arrows drawn. The next thing I need to do is I need to put my forces on. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to click text, and that's going to insert a text box. All right, notice where I put that. I'm going to tell you something to do here right now. Click on your text box and go ahead and go to Arrange and change Text Wrap to None. And now it'll let you put it wherever you want. Now, let's see. Our first force, I'm going to go ahead and make this bigger. Okay. And our first force is going to be the normal force going up. So I'm going to go F and then N. But N needs to be small, so I'm going to highlight it. Now, to make a subscript, I want you to listen, okay? Press the Command button. And then hold it down and also press the Control button. And then press the minus button. It's up right next to the 0. Command, Control, minus. And that'll change it to subscript like that. If you're having trouble with that, come ask me. Now, let's make that a little bit bigger still. Okay. And then I think it's going to be hard to see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Style. And I like this style. Whoops. No, maybe not. Let's undo that. We'll go Edit, Undo. Let's just do this. Let's change the fill. Let's do a color fill. Hey, yellow. That's nice. Okay, and you can choose your color right here if you want to. I like yellow. Let's stick with yellow. Now I'm going to make my box smaller. Okay, so now I've got normal force right there. All right, let's make copies of this. So again, you could right click and you can do copy and then paste, or remember that Command C is copy, Command V is paste. All right, now this force down here, I know that's not normal force, that's gravitational force. This force going this way is going to be the applied force. That's the force coming from Mr. McSparron. And this force going this way is going to be my friction force from the ground that's keeping Mr. Gall from moving. All right, so I've got my diagram. I really like that. Okay, so next thing I need to do, ooh, I don't like that. Let's see if I can click down here. Double click down there. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to full screen this thing so that this whole thing doesn't move on me anymore. I got to start on the gray, but I'm going to draw a big box and see how it highlights everything all together. Now I'm going to two-finger click, and I'm going to group that. And watch now. This is all one big thing, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and change my text wrap to none. And so now you'll see that like I can put it over the words if I want to. All right, so next thing that I have to do is I'm going to insert, I got to put that little table down here that has my forces on it. So that's going to be a table. I'm just going to choose this one right here. And I don't want any text wrap, so I'm going to go to none. And let's move that down below. Whoop. There we go. Okay, I don't need, so to change columns you click, whoops, click this little button right over here, And right now there's 4 columns. I only want 2 columns, and I think 4 rows will be good for now. So at the top, I want to say receiver is Mr. Gall. And I'm going to go ahead, if I highlight them both and then 2-finger click, I can merge the cells. So now I just have 1 cell. And then I know this is going to be forces, and this is, or let's say force and agent. All right, so first force is going to be F, and then remember, command control minus goes to subscript, FG. Then I'm going to go F subscript N, F subscript A. Now I need 1 more row. So I'm going to change 5 to 6. And now I've got F subscript F. All right, so I've got all my forces, gravity, normal, applied, and friction. I forgot about what A meant there for a second. All right, so gravity, the agent of gravity is the Earth. All right, the agent of the normal force, the thing that's holding him up. If you need to use your normal force finder, come ask me for it. I've got it. The normal force is caused by the floor. Okay, the applied force is caused by Mr. McSparron, and the friction force is caused by the floor. All right, sorry, Mr. McSparron didn't get exclamations. There we go. Okay, now obviously, guys, if you want to play around with this, you can like select all of this, and you can go over here and say text. I want to make it bigger, or bold, or red, whatever you want to do, okay? You can play with how that looks. But that's the general description, okay? Those are the instructions for how you're going to make your picture.